Last week, a stampede in New Delhi railway station killed 18 people. Chaos, overcrowding, bodies trampled. And while people were mourning their dead, the Indian Railways had this response. Stampede? What stampede? It is but a rumor. It is only a rumor. It took them close to 3 hours to even admit that there was an incident where people lost lives. And guess who is in charge of this ministry? This guy. Yeah, Ashwini Vaishnav. In case you didn't know, he runs 3 important ministries: railways, communications, and information technology. This is a video about a man who cares about controlling the narrative more than his actual work. This is a video about the incompetence of real minister Ashwini Vaishnav. This is a video where we will try to answer one simple question. Should Ashwini Vaishnav resign? On that, I have a bunch of thoughts. February 15th, 2025, New Delhi railway station. Around 9:15 p.m., there was a crowd surge. The station was packed. Passengers were rushing to catch trains for the Mahakumbh in Prayagraj. Suddenly, panic broke out. People got pushed, shoved, trampled. 18 people died. Dozens were injured. This by itself is a horrible tragedy, but what happened after this makes it even worse. 10:50 p.m. ANI tweets out that there is a stampede-like situation at the New Delhi railway station. 11:16 p.m. CRPO of Northern Railways says there is no stampede. It is only a rumor. 11:36 p.m. Ashwini Vaishnav says the situation is under control. Note how he doesn't admit there was a stampede. 11:52 Ashwini Vaishnav tweets again that 4 special trains have been deployed to evacuate this unprecedented sudden rush. Unprecedented sudden rush. As if it happened out of nowhere. 11:55 p.m. LG of Delhi tweets expressing his condolences for the victims of the stampede. Weirdly enough, half an hour later, he edits his own tweet and removes the part where he admits it's a stampede. He just calls it an unfortunate incident now. 12:53 a.m. Vaishnav says that a high-level enquiry has been ordered. 12:56 a.m. Adarniya Shri Sir Supreme Leader Narendra Modi ji tweets out, finally admitting that there was a stampede. 1:19 a.m. Vaishnav follows suit and now admits himself that it was a stampede as well, expressing his condolences. Prayers. What does this sequence of events tell you? The incident occurred at 9:15 p.m. and it took more than 3 hours for the government to even admit that there was an incident where 18 people lost their lives. What this showed is that this government cares about how things look more than how things actually are. They desperately wanted to control the narrative here. This should actually come as no surprise to you because the man responsible for all of this is real minister Ashwini Vaishnav. His first response to the incident tells you a lot. It was to make it look like an unprecedented sudden rush of people that came out of nowhere. Well, newsflash, it didn't come out of nowhere. This wasn't an accident. This was a failure. The railways had multiple warnings, but they ignored all of them. Number 1, unreserved ticket sales for Prayagraj had spiked by 2600. It's actually crazy that they allowed it in the first place, but even if they did, it means that they knew there was going to be a surge at the railway station. Number 2, instead of spreading them out, trains to Prayagraj were bunched up on just 4 platforms. Number 3, railway announcements gave conflicting information leading to chaos and confusion. Number 4, passengers had already posted about the crowd buildup. In fact, the crowd swell started around 7 p.m. but the railways just didn't react. Number 5, this wasn't some unexpected crowd surge, by the way. They knew that this was coming for months. The crowd was headed to the Mahakumbh, an event which the government has been spending crores to promote the shit out of. They created the excitement and FOMO for this event, but then they didn't think of crowd control? Yeah. pad. What's worse, there was already a stampede that happened in Prayagraj recently, before this tragedy even occurred in New Delhi. So they knew about it, just that they did nothing about it. The bottom line is, our railway minister Ashwini Vaishnav is just plain incompetent. Oh wait, it doesn't end here, because you know how they made the situation worse, even worse? Blatant cash handouts to families of the victim. Reportedly, the railways handed out 10 lakh rupees per victim in cash. That is illegal, by the way. 2023 guidelines have capped immediate cash relief to just 50,000 rupees. The rest must be paid via check or online transfer. Instead, Indian Railways handed out 1.99 crore in cash in a single night, because optics matter more than the rules and the laws. And of course, it's Ashwini Vaishnav. So what do you expect? They also immediately sent bodies of the victim back to their native homes, accompanied by a railway police officer. Yeah. Just raat ko rafa dafa. But did Ashwini Vaishnav take responsibility for any of it? Nope. Did he apologize for the failure? No, he didn't. Did the government even acknowledge that this was a preventable tragedy? Of course not. These cash handouts weren't compensation. It was hush money. They knew that if the families started asking questions, then they'd be in a bit of a trouble. The media had started gathering outside the New Delhi railway station as well, and there was likelihood that people will be very pissed off. So they just threw money at the problem and got rid of the bodies as fast as possible. This is what governance looks like under the reign of Real Minister Vaishnav. An absolute shit show. It looks like an absolute shit show because he's just really obsessed with Ashwini Vaishnav isn't just a minister for railways. He is also Minister of Communications and Information Technology. And if there is one thing that this government loves to do more than governance, it's controlling the flow of information that you and I get. Which brings us to his other disaster, the broadcasting bill. In December 2024, Vaishnav's ministry floated a draft of the Broadcasting Services Regulation Bill. It was supposed to be a hush-hush under the table sort of consultation process with some of their favorite people, but the bill leaked. And we saw the draft law for what it was. Sheer stupidity. No, really, it's not just a harmful piece of law, just like a regular harmful piece of law. It's just really badly thought out and bizarrely ill-conceived. I've already done a detailed video on this. I'll leave a link to this below. But for this video, in case you haven't seen what the broadcasting bill is, I'll give you a bit of a TLDR, the highlights. The broadcasting bill was brought in to control all content on the internet. Not exaggerating here. The bill turns all content creators and literally everyone on the internet, including you, into a broadcaster. Now, what is a broadcaster? Well, it's literally anyone who sends text, images, audio, or video through a broadcast network, which includes YouTube, Instagram, even your WhatsApp groups. So what does this bill want you to do? Well, it asks everyone who posts content to register with the government, and they want content creators to take like a license from the government to post content, appoint a self-censorship committee, and face heavy penalties if they post anything that the government doesn't like. Then what happens if you don't comply? Well, your content can be taken down, your equipment can be seized, and you can be penalized. That's the broadcasting bill, in short. Oh yeah, and the most bizarre part of this, which makes it next level insanity, is that this bill is globally applicable. Yes, it's that absurd. Is this a giant red flag? Also yes. Simply put, this was not just a law to regulate broadcasters, this was a law which was being proposed to control speech on the internet. The bill was taken back, it never saw the light of day or went into parliament, but my guess is there is still a chance that this bill might be brought back from the dead and pushed into parliament very soon. Because again, we are talking about our real minister who is obsessed with controlling the narrative. And this is going to be his Brahmastra. You see, Ashwini Vaishnav's first instinct after a public failure is never accountability. What? You normies, you expect accountability? No, it's always narrative control. He's basically the social media manager for the Modi government at this point of time. His job isn't fixing problems, his job is making sure people don't talk about them. But here's the thing, you can't just PR away from reality, I guess. Because in reality, the Railways Ministry is a mess right now. In the financial year 2022-23, Indian Railways reported 48 consequential train accidents, an increase from 35 in 2021-2022. These incidents encompass collisions, derailments, fires, and level crossing incidents. In 2023 alone, the death toll is tragic, with 313 people dead and 4 railway employees also dead, resulting from 40 train accidents. This is the highest number of passenger deaths in a decade. I'll just mention 2 major ones which occurred in 2023. In June 2023, there was a catastrophic collision of 3 trains in Balasore, Odisha. It resulted in 296 deaths and over 1200 injuries. The accident was attributed to a signaling error, causing a passenger train to divert into a loop line, colliding with a station goods train. Meanwhile, Ashwini Vaishnav's response? Rails, obviously. Another tragic incident occurred in October 29, 2023 in Andhra Pradesh's Vizianagaram district. 2 passenger trains collided after one overshot a signal, resulting in at least 14 fatalities and injuring approximately 50 other people. Preliminary investigations attributed this cause to human error, specifically failure of the train crew to adhere to signaling protocols. So despite official claims of improved safety, reality indicates that there is a troubling rise in railway accidents during Vaishnav's tenure as railway minister. Reports suggest that over 200 train accidents have occurred under his leadership. When Vaishnav is asked about these incidents and whether he will take responsibility for it, he tends to make some angry noises like this.
अध्यक्ष जी जो इस तरह से बोल रहे हैं वो उनको पूछिए कि वो 58 साल के अपने राज में 1 किलोमीटर पर भी एटीपी क्यों नहीं लगा पाए, 1 किलोमीटर भी एटीपी। आज ये प्रश्न पूछने की हिम्मत करते हैं। अपने कार्यकाल को देखें, अपने गिरेबान में जाके, अपने गिरेबान में पहले झांक के बताएं। इसी हाउस में ममता जी जब रेलवे मिनिस्टर थी, वो अपने एक्सीडेंट के नंबर बताती थी, 0.24 से 0.19 पे होने पर कितनी तालियां बजाते थे। आज 0.19 से 0.03 इंडेक्स होने पर आज इस तरह के आरोप लगाते हैं। क्या है ये बात? ऐसे देश चलेगा क्या माननीय अध्यक्ष जी?
Oh, and when he is mocked for his incompetence and proclivity to make reels, this man gets very pissed off.
वो रनिंग रूम में ऐसा है, केवल रील बनाने वाले लोग नहीं, हम मेहनत करने वाले लोग हैं, काम करने वाले लोग हैं। आपकी तरह रील बना के दिखाने वाले लोग नहीं हम, समझे ना? बैठो, बहुत हो गया, कुछ भी बोल देता है। हमें अध्यक्ष जी हाउस का ऑर्डर मिला, ये क्या तरीका है? कुछ भी बीच में बोल देते हैं।
Clearly the real minister thing is really getting to him, and I will continue to use it. Those 2 responses, my friends, are not a mark of a good leader. So the big question now is, should Ashwini Vaishnav resign? On that, I have Before we answer whether Ashwini Vaishnav should resign, let me lay down some ground rules. What exactly warrants a minister's resignation? According to me, we can judge them based on 3 parameters: moral responsibility, performance failure, and credibility. First, let's talk about moral responsibility. Ministers who hold high offices are supposed to be accountable to the people. When the policies that their ministry has set out lead to failures, lead to actual loss of life, they should be held accountable for it. In fact, they should take moral responsibility for their actions because that is their literal job. And this is not a new novel concept, by the way. This has been happening for ages in our history. We have had ministers taking moral responsibility in the past as well. In 1956, Lal Bahadur Shastri resigned as railway minister after two major train accidents. In 1999, Nitish Kumar quit the ministry after a train collision that killed nearly 300 people. We have a video of him taking responsibility for it. Watch. The railway accidents have increased. Number 2, when a real crisis occurs, like the stampede in Delhi, he refuses to even accept that it's a crisis. He doesn't disappear. He tries to just spin that incident and make it appear like something else. Like it's no big deal. And then he gaslights his own citizens, who are his bosses, by the way. Number 3, he has an authoritarian streak, clearly learning from the best, I guess. But what's worse is that the policies that he's coming up with to be really authoritarian are full of holes, not implementable, and just wild and absurd. Like the broadcasting bill that I spoke about. If that is implemented, it will create a compliance nightmare, licensing raj, and literally destroy the creator economy in India. One sector of the economy which is actually showing growth, they will destroy that also. So yeah, his performance hasn't been great either. Now, third, which is, let's talk about his credibility. A minister's job is to increase public trust in the ministry that they are leading. They have to protect the institutions under their watch and make them more citizen friendly. The only way to do that is to show willingness to correct their mistakes. We all make mistakes, we are all human. But do you even admit that you have made a mistake? They have to prioritize accountability over power, like Lal Bahadur Shastri did, or frickin' Nitish Kumar did way back when. I mean, things have changed now, but he did as a youngling. Those were the good old days when leaders actually felt like they were accountable to their people. Vaishnav looks like he's a different breed, almost. Think about it. He lied about the stampede. He downplayed railway disasters. He tried to sneak in a badly drafted internet censorship law and then failed at it. And he refuses to take responsibility for any of it. So you tell me, how can you trust a person who dodges blame, gaslights the public, and tries to control the narrative obsessively? That right there destroys Ashwini Vaishnav on the credibility front. So, should Ashwini Vaishnav resign? Yes! The answer is a definite yes. Why hasn't he already done it? Will he resign? No, that is yet to be seen. Let's wait for Shri Sir, Supreme Leader Narendra Modi, first of his name, to replace Ashwini Vaishnav with someone better. I know that sounded like a joke in my head when I said it. Sorry. My bad. In the Modi era of our country, it clearly doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't. So I'll just continue making videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video, friendos. Please do consider supporting this channel, liking and subscribing and doing the things. It would really help me. And we have merch. In case you don't know, we have merch on www.bunchofmerch.com. It is some nerdy curated merch that we have come out with. It is a limited window when you can buy it because we want the merch to be nice and exclusive to the people who buy it. So do consider checking out our Project Anda collection and Descent Ki Dukaan collection and a bunch of more merch that is coming in. Please do consider buying some merch which will support this channel. Thank you so much. And also, so I'm planning to put out 2 videos a week now, which are these bunch of thoughts format. And I also do live streams on Friday nights where I will come talk to you and do call-in radios and cover issues and whatever I have missed. So yeah, come on Friday, we will chill. And thank you so much for your support. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think I should be held accountable. Right? I mean, railway minister isn't. I should be. Like, for example, that video that I did on Samay Raina and Beer Biceps, and how so many of you had so many things to say. Yeah. I read comments. I have a lot of thinking to do. I do take you seriously. I do. Okay? I'll talk about it on a live stream. See you there.